So it's July 21st, 2021. This is Darci's Corner. Now that I think about it, my best friend from childhood, it's his birthday today. But he doesn't watch my channel, so. But if he ever did, happy birthday, Terry. Anyway, um, so I realize I'm making a lot of these lately, but sometimes I just do it because things happen a lot, and sometimes I do it because I need to keep my mind clear, and it's easier to do that when I get the thoughts out. But in this particular case, if you watched my Darcy's Corner from yesterday, I called it Dark Feelings because I'm feeling pretty um, beat up right now in terms of my ability to get a job and earn income and cover my expenses. And my life just is not feeling like it's in a very good place at the moment. And so I kind of expressed that the other day. And after I finished making that video, a relative saw that and she called me and was trying to cheer me up and just help me to get through this time in my life. And I'm grateful she did that. I'm grateful she cared. I could criticize some of the things that she said because she was like, well, maybe if you acted this way or acted that way. And I had to stop her and correct her and say, no, no, the problem is not me, it's them. It doesn't matter what way I act, I'll never be acceptable to these different people, and they're always going to treat me um, in ways that are rude. And the problem has got to be their problem because I'm going to be here anyway, or not if I get too sad. But while I'm here, it's their problem. And so last night, I go to the bar to sing, and there was a beautiful young um, trans girl there, and it was her first night out as herself, dressed up. So that's what we call a baby trans. And she looked beautiful, and she looked very well put together. I loved her outfit, and you couldn't really tell. Like she was this close to passing completely. Um, so I just complimented her on her outfit, and then she reminded me that we had worked together at a previous workplace, and like I didn't even recognize her from that previous workplace. I'm like, oh wow, that was you. She said, well, you look amazing. And then a little bit later in the night, she's like, oh, I have a problem. I have to use the bathroom, and she wasn't sure which one to use. I'm like, well, my dear, the way you're dressed, you're using the ladies' room, and it's over this way. Here, I'll go with you. And I went with her so that she would feel safe. And it was good that I did, because as soon as we got in there, there was this waitress who I've come across before who doesn't think that we should be in that bathroom. She thinks it's her room and we should not be in it. And she was very vocal about that. So we went in there, and my new friend went into the stall, and then me and this waitress proceeded to have a conversation about who was allowed to be in that room and who wasn't. And she was in the middle of changing her shirt for some reason, and she thought I was trying to like creep on her. And then it occurred to her to go into the bathroom stall and change her shirt. For suddenly she was safe from, prying eyes. Which is exactly what she should have done anyway. So she goes in, she changes her shirt, she comes out, and she keeps making comments on men and women's bathrooms. And I'm like, get out. Get away from me. No, stop. Just go away. And she just kept doing it. And the poor girl in the bathroom stall could hear everything she was saying, or bits and pieces of it, anyways. And she was in the bathroom stall a little longer than I thought she was going to be, but that's fine. You got to do what you got to do. She comes out, she says, oh, was that about me? And I lied, and I said, no, that wasn't about you. Because that is so freaking scary when you first start doing this. I've been doing this for a while now, so now I'm more comfortable with other people being uncomfortable. Like, it's still nerve-wracking, and you don't know what you're going to have to deal with. But I've just dealt with it enough times now that I'm not worried about being charged or whatever, and I'm not worried about potential transphobes getting me beat up. but I probably should be worried about that. And so we get out, and then afterwards, I'm outside with the smokers, just chilling and chatting, and I'm mad about this chick, and I'm telling people about it. And I got this one chick telling me, "Oh, you need to mind your business. You need to pick your battles." I'm like looking at her like, if I started calling you Mister, she's like, "Well, I just show you my tits." I said, "I could show you mine. That doesn't mean anything." That type of talk, that kind of, "Oh, you're just a man," and just like hawking on people about that, that makes people suicidal. Like, I was already in a pretty negative headspace before I got there. You don't know what kind of a day I'm having. Any trans person, you don't know what kind of day they're having. You don't know where their headspace is at. And you don't know when your offhanded comment can be the thing that sets them off. And maybe it doesn't set them off right there. Maybe later they're at home and they're questioning and they're doubting and they're feeling bad and they're like, "Oh no, people just think I'm a pervert. What if they're right? Oh, I shouldn't be here anymore." And then that person slits their wrists or take a bunch of pills, does something so that they're not going to be here anymore because they can't make themselves stop being trans. It doesn't just go away. And they can't make themselves stop being sad about it. But they can make the pain stop. And oh, it's a horrible feeling. Anyway, so I was mad about this lady, and then people are just like, "Well, you know, people are just gonna say horrible things, and you just can't do anything about it." And I'm like, "No, she works there, and this is the second time her and I have had this type of encounter and conversation. And the first time I was very indulgent, and I just let her carry on, and I politely disagreed. But she carried on for like 2 hours dogging me about this stuff. At the time, I just tolerated a lot, but I'm not tolerating anymore, and I wasn't gonna have her pick on my new friend, who was my old coworker. No, you you don't get to take this from them. You don't get to push them back in the closet so they can hide there for another 20 years and be miserable. You don't have the right to do that. So anyway, I called it's a bar slash hotel, and I called them today, and I talked to the manager, and I said, "This is the second time this person has done this to me, and this needs to stop now." They can have the opinion that I'm a man in a dress, and every other trans person in there is a man in a dress. They can have that opinion, but they can keep that opinion to themselves. They don't have to share that. The only reason I interacted with them at all is because they would confront me and get in my face. If they would have stopped getting in my face, I would have stopped interacting with them. Later on, I'm sitting out there at the bar. My trans friend has gone home because they're just late and they're tired, and that's fine. Um, and this waitress, who's not on duty, she's just like hanging out, comes to come confront me, and I told her to F right off. And I used those words. I didn't say F. I told her exactly where to stick it. I said, "We are not friends. Get away from me. What you did was not okay." And she just gives me this look like it's my fault, for existing, for being there, for being a man at rest. Don't I know better? Get away from me. You have whatever thoughts you want over there. Anyway, so this is Darci's rant about dealing with transphobes and how it's just become something I have to be prepared to deal with at any point in my life. Doing anything I'm doing, I have to be prepared to have this conversation with people. Welcome to my life. Darci's Corner, rant over. Peace.